at first I was super skeptical. For me, it just sounded too good to be true. I hadn't had anybody reach out to me, saying, they wanted to hire me or they were interested in talking to me. But Revature reached out and it was more of a conversation. It was just like, hey, this is what we do. Do you have some time for us to talk? And I'll never forget, because it was very much of a conversation to figure out, what am I looking to do? Where am I looking to focus at? And am I open to, making changes to where I'm based? And, for someone that's coming fresh out of college, I spent most of my time in New York. For me, it wasn't really, thinking about going elsewhere, but, Revature had reached out, and in that spring semester, we had the conversations going, and I set some time to do an interview with Revature. But during the same time, I was also exploring other options. I was fortunate enough to be a part of this program called Code 2040. So they're a nonprofit organization, and their goal is to ultimately help minority students get access to these big companies, and get into tech. And during that time period, they had this program called Tech Track, which essentially gave me the ability to go to the Silicon Valley area and get a chance to talk to people in the tech industry. And during that time process, I started getting to talk to some recruiters. And, you're shooting for the stars when like when you're graduating college, you want to get those big opportunities, but you also have to be realistic, as in you're not always going to get those opportunities. You're going to have to work with the opportunities that are given. So whatever, long story short, I did interview with Revature, and I was initially given an offer. I think it was around maybe April. I think it was like March, April. But I had mentioned to my recruiter, I want to continue exploring. I want to see if, there is a chance that I might get an opportunity. I was speaking with Snapchat at the time for an apprenticeship opportunity. Things went down the line. The conversation continued expanding past, having graduated already. And I had already told the recruiter, they kind of gave me like a deadline, like, hey, can you let us know by this time? And, I let my recruiter know, hey, I'm still exploring this option with another company, So unfortunately, at the moment, I'll have to pass. But things didn't end up working as I expected with the Snapchat opportunity. And, as any college graduate, you're really looking to just get your foot in the door, and I reached back out to my recruiter, I think it was about 3 or 4 months later. And I said, hey, you open to have a conversation real quick? And I got a chance to talk to him, and, he had an idea of where I was at. I was pretty transparent for that whole process of getting a job opportunity. And I think, the recruiter appreciated it, because I kind of gave him context as to my, what are my ambitions? What's my timeline? What am I currently working on? And, they said, hey, listen, if you're still interested, we'd love to have you come on board. And I didn't think twice about it. I told them, hey, send the paperwork over. Let's get this going.
I can really appreciate it. Something we hear a lot of. You were very comfortable there in New York.